next installment in our video series on credit and credit scoring. My name's Kurt Jackson. I'm a certified mortgage planner in Liberty, Missouri. I've got more than 17 years of experience in the mortgage industry. And in this segment, we want to go a little deeper about information we felt you should know about your credit report. But before we continue, I got to give you our disclaimer. We're not attorneys. The information that we give in this is not to be construed as legal advice. The information that's given in this video series is really designed to alert you to aspects of your credit bureau that you may decide you want to consult an attorney on. This segment we're going to talk about how long do negative items stay on my credit report. In our early segments we've kind of touched on this. We kind of want to summarize things here so you can better understand. Accurate negative information generally can be reported for 7 years, but there's a few exceptions. A bankruptcy can be reported for 10 years. Information reported because of an application for a job with a salary of more than $20,000 has no time limitations. Information reported because of an application for more than $50,000 worth of credit or life insurance has no time limitation. Information concerning a lawsuit or a judgment against you can be reported for 7 years or until the statute of limitation runs out, whichever is longer. And default information concerning U.S. government insured or guaranteed student loans can be reported for 7 years after certain guarantor actions. And tax liens stay on your credit bureau from 7 years from the date they're paid. Okay, keep that in mind on tax liens. That's very important. Some other rules to kind of keep in mind. We found that the statute of limitations on something really has nothing to do with the length of time it can stay on your credit report. They're two totally separate things, so there's no relationship there. The length of a time a negative mark can stay in your credit report starts from the time you were late or the late payment went into collection, not from the last time you made a payment on the account. Very important, folks. Some collection agencies update their reporting status on you to keep the account active with the bureaus to extend the time the account appears on your report. It's very crafty and underhanded of them because most often the account is updated and the period of time the account is active appears to be extended. Challenge this. If you do, bureaus will correctly remove it 7 years from origination, period. In other words, paying a collection will not keep it on your credit report for a longer period of time if you're diligent. Okay, you've got to do this. They don't happen on their own. What reporting limits does the Fair Credit Report Act provide with respect to charge-offs and how long they've been in effect? Well, there's a section 605A4 that has been in effect since the Federal Credit Reporting Act became, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act became effective in April of '71. It's always prevented credit reporting agencies like Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian from reporting charge-offs that are more than 7 years old. Section 623A5, which became law in September of '97, requires a creditor that reports a charge-off to the credit reporting agencies to notify the agency within 90 days of reporting the account of the month and year of the commencement of the delinquency that immediately preceded the charge-off. Section 605C1 provides that the 7-year period begins 180 days from that date. Both provisions were part of the major revisions to the Fair Credit Reporting Act that were enacted in '96. Folks, I'm not trying to act like a lawyer or I sound like one, and I apologize for that. What I'm letting you know is there's a lot of little nuances within the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FACTA Act, all of these types of things that might be little hiccups that they did wrong that could allow you to legally get things removed from your credit report. You don't know until you try, and you need to work with a professional that does that. Here's another question that's asked. Is the reporting period extended if A, the original creditor sells or transfers the account to another creditor, B, the consumer responds to post-charge-off collection efforts by making a payment on the debt, or C, the consumer disputes the account with the credit reporting agency? Does it matter whether the 7-year period is expired when any of these events occurs? As far as we can tell, we'd have to say no. In enacting the new provisions discussed above, Congress intended to establish a date certain, 180 days from the start of the delinquency that led to a charge-off, and that's supposed to begin the obsolescence period. It did so to correct the often lengthy extension of the period that resulted from later events under the original Fair Credit Reporting Act. So here's how I understand it. Once again, I'm not an attorney. If today is January 1st, 2008, and you go delinquent on a credit card, and for whatever reason you can't get it paid, 180 days from now, which would be what, the end of June, so July 1st, let's call it July 1st, from July 1st of '08 would be when your 7-year clock started ticking on that account. So if they sold it to a collection agency on that date, then that would be when your the date starts on the charge off and the collection agency. So any activity you would have on that would not extend that date. Now, if you had some activity on paying it off, it could lower your credit score, okay, but it will not extend the 7-year period. And I've seen thousands of credit reports that have real old collections on them, or old charge-offs that are over 7 years old that are still on there. So I know there's a lot of things that could be handled there. So once again, it's just showing you the complexity of this. I don't want to make it sound like it's too hard to do. It's not, but it may be too difficult or too time-consuming to do it on your own. You may need to seek help on that. Hey, a secret credit repair tool. This is something that honestly, folks, I didn't even really know about until recently when we were researching all of this. And everyone, it seems, through mass media coverage knows how to dispute negative credit listings on your credit report, and that's a good thing, don't get me wrong. However, many of you are foiled in your disputes because of the way the credit bureaus investigate the disputes. If you get a notice from the credit bureaus telling you the information you disputed has been verified as accurate, you need to request the method of verification, which is your right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Section 611-A-7. The credit bureau must give you this information within 15 days of the request. This is huge, and I'm going to go into this deeper in a later segment, so make sure you tune in to our later segments. If you've got any questions on this segment, please email us at the address is listed on the screen, or you can call us at any of the numbers that are listed on the screen. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you stay tuned and tune into our future series episode.